Welcome to the hot spot brought to you by Firehouse. We're on Periscope right now, taking advantage of every multimedia aspect that's out there. I'm Roy Avila, Dr. Sonny Lara, the founder of the Firehouse, along with CEO of Trimtuf, Tony Sanchez. Tell me a little bit about this Periscope thing. It's a little new to me.
That's new to everybody. If you don't have it, you need to get an app. I know a lot of people, man, I want to do that Periscope. You need to get an app for the Periscope. Get it. I'm learning about it. It's awesome. We want to get the message out any way we can about Firehouse. And why? Because we know Firehouse changes lives. Every one of you have a value. You are someone, you're special, you're a champion, and Firehouse will bring the champion out of you.
Tell us a little bit of the background of Firehouse.
Oh, Firehouse started, Roy, when I got out. I was in prison. I entered the system at 12 years old, not proud of it. Went down that route and just knew that someday I was going to get married and have a family and didn't want my son or daughter to follow me that way. And then as I started learning, I got out and I wanted to help young people, and then I would hear, oh, another kid fell through the crack. What do you mean another kid fell through the crack? I couldn't believe that. All these people, I said, no, Firehouse, we're the plank to that crack. We will plug up that crack, and we will do whatever we do to help you turn your life around. So Juvenile Hall heard about what I was doing. They started calling me because they said, call Pastor Sonny. And the guy said, what can Pastor Sonny do? Oh, he has a program. He'll help me. So they started calling me. Then I met Kurt Cumbie, who was one of the DAs, Mark Bueller, who was one of the DAs. Then I started working with Judge Edwards, Judge Manukniam. They started releasing these guys to me. And you know what? Given the chance, Roy, they all changed, turned their lives around, just like Anthony here.
Yeah. How did you become involved with Firehouse?
It all started with an after-school program. At the time, I had just gotten into some trouble. And the principal told me, she's like, hey, listen, either turn your life around and join this program, or I'm going to turn you into the cops. And I chose the easy route. At that moment, I just knew that it was an opportunity for me to really change my life. And I didn't know what I was going to get out of it, but when I came into the program, I was the person in the back that was skeptical. And I just heard the pastor say, whatever doors you open, no man closes. And I took that home with me, and it just really resonated with me. I really understood that was a responsibility, that if I decided to do something, I knew that nobody can take that away from me. And being that age, I think at the time I was like 15, 16 years old when I made that decision. And it's stuck with me here today, because today we get to go into classrooms and speak to the students. We get to go into different places and talk to the souls and pour inspiration into their minds, because I know that there's more people out there like me. We just have to say something. We just have to pour inspiration and put the seeds out there in order for them to start to sprout.
Talk about, you stayed with Firehouse even though you don't have to. What is it about the work that Firehouse does in the community that keeps you involved?
This is all voluntary. I think that if you're going to do something, you got to do it from your heart. And I see that young people can become inspirational. They can become successful, and they can become leaders in their community. And that's what's kept me here so far along, is that I see that this is not just for me. It's me putting myself in a position where people can be inspired from it. And I love that. I love that people can get inspired from another younger person. And that's what I want to put out there. It's a message to let people know that it doesn't matter how old you are. You don't have to be shy. You don't have to be embarrassed. You too can change your life around at a young age and be in a position where you can be successful and young at the same time.
We'll talk a little bit about your success. I know you're a humble guy, but somebody out there is going to say, all right, well, what did he do?
Right. Tell the truth. At the age of 18, I got into insurance and investments. It taught me how to invest well. It taught me how to manage my money. And not just that, it taught me how to work with high net worth clients that were sitting across the table from me. So I understood that there was money to be made at a young age, as long as I was professional and I was legal and ethical at the same time. So being in the financial game, it allowed me to see the bigger picture. I knew that I wanted to be somebody within the business industry. And 2 years later, I decided to start my own company in the brokerage. And I sold my book of business 2 years after that. So that brought me to 2012. In 2008, I got involved in the business. In 2012, I already had sold my first company. And it led me in a position where I can become an entrepreneur. I can become a true entrepreneur, where I invest in small businesses, where I learn how to build a small company. And that's what I've done. I've been able to build 4 companies now. Last year I built a company called Trimtuf out of a formula for weight loss that I invented myself. And the company's been very successful. It's allowed me to travel. It's allowed me to do a lot of things. We've helped hundreds of thousands of customers. And most importantly, it's freed up my time to give time to my son and to raise my boy, to have him be successful, to have him at a year and a half. I can't believe it, but he talks already. He walks. He does he plays the piano. He's running around. He'll tell you your name. He plays a harmonica. The pastor brought him a harmonica, and he's just jamming on it. It's just amazing to know that from being a positive parent, how much positive you can install into your children. And that's really where my story starts to sprout is what you can do not only for yourself, but how successful you can build your foundation for your family.
The people are now they're fired up by the Firehouse, and they want to join you and help out and help you bring more Tonys up and females and all the young people that you work with. How can they help you?
They can go up on our website, which is the address is right there on the screen. Come and help us. Come and see. Come and volunteer. And maybe some of you say, man, I would love to reach out, but because of my schedule, you can reach and help us another way by donations. Firehouse is looking for pledgers, donations. Some of you business people, you need to get a hold of Anthony Sanchez. As a businessman, we know at the end of the year you got to give tax write-offs. You can help us by helping us give donations to Firehouse so we can reach a lot more. We're neutral. Neutral people can go anywhere and work with anybody. Color, skin, or race has nothing to do with Firehouse. We are not prejudiced. We'll help anybody. Mom, dad, you have a son that's in trouble, going the wrong way. Bring them, check them out. I have a whole team of guys, and they're gonna gravitate to one of those guys, because they're going to know they've been there, done that, and came out of that. And it's so crazy about Firehouse because I've been on the Jay Leno show, the Maury Povich show, the 700 Club, and I even asked them how you heard about me. And we created the tattoo removal to help tattoos. Parents, your kids don't say, hey, Mom, can I put this tattoo? They just come home with it and find out that it was a mistake. And then they want to take it off, and we help them out. We walk them through the procedures, get them involved. Mom, Dad, never write off your son or your daughter.
Or be embarrassed.
Or be embarrassed. That's right. And never write them off, because wherever there's a problem, there's always a solution. Wherever there's a question, there's always an answer. Maybe not through me, but through one of these men and many others.
And right now you're serving as many as you can serve, but there's a lot more that can be served.
Yeah, and we're at Andrew High School, Roy, and that program's funny because you have to have 4 Fs or more. And we started with about 5 students, and now we have 130 some students. We have 30 that are going to graduate this year that had straight Fs 2 years ago. And we got them into night school, tutorial programs. We're helping them build them up, man, and it's in them. I tell them Fs turn into Ds, Ds turn into Cs, C's turn into B's, and then the rest are easy. And when you're getting B's, as a minority, you get scholarships to go to almost any university you want.
Sure.
They don't even know about it. We have information that'll help you. Santa Clara University, if you have a B average your last 2 years, they'll give you a full scholarship at Santa Clara University. There's San Jose State, there's De Anza. I mean, the sky's the limit. We want to help you get there.
Mm-hmm. Both of you are very involved. What do you see moving forward, and what's your big vision of what you want to do with Firehouse?
Well, I want to reach even more now that Anthony's came along. I've always got to find someone to pour myself into, and I believe that Anthony and a few others that I have are the next generation coming up. And Anthony, he doesn't have to do this because the way he is, but he loves to do this. Anthony has a Lamborghini, he has a Maserati, and we take it to the school. And my son teaches, their dream car is a Lamborghini. Here we come rolling up with it. And Anthony doesn't brag about it. I brag about it. He doesn't say that, and I said, let's go for it. But I like the Maserati.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to be a part of the Firehouse. It's not only that, I recognize the opportunity to help the children, and it's really important because everybody out there is crying for a voice and a voice of inspiration. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's telling me like, you know, pick me, tell me something, you know, tell me something that's going to inspire me, because everybody wants to be special. Everybody wants to feel special, you know. And I believe that it's important that as leaders of the community, as leaders to our kids, as parents, as people for the people, that it's important that we tell them that stuff. It's important that we inspire them. It's important that we tell them that they too can do it, that they can turn it around. And it doesn't matter where you came from. I grew up in the east side of San Jose. You know, some of the worst things have happened in the east side of San Jose. I was 12 years old. Me and my cousin were walking a shotgun to a friend's house. You know, and that's at 12 years old. I remember these things like they were yesterday, right? And it's crazy, because to think that somebody that comes from that background would never have an opportunity to turn around. You know, here you are later being a successful entrepreneur, right? And that's out there. That's out there. We know that that's out there. And it's our job to put the seed out there.
You know what? It's interesting talking to me. I've talked to a lot of people in my career, but many of them who I would ask, did you, when you were doing that, ever think that you would be in the position you are now? And I think what's different about you is that you did. A lot of people who I've talked to have turned their life around and said, you know, no, I'm really kind of amazed that I'm here, but there's something, I don't know what it is, I'm just guessing, but that you always thought that you would be here.
I had a plan. I think that it started when I was a kid. You know, I knew that I was going to be somebody, because when it came to sports, I was a leader. I was the captain. When it came to choosing a team at school, I was a leader. I was a captain. So since I was a kid, I've always wanted to be that person. And it started from watching movies, watching TV, and watching the people that were making the most money or that were calling the shots were the captains or the leaders. And I wanted to be just that. And I've had these goals and aspirations since I was a kid, you know. So for me, it's no surprise that I'm at where I'm at, and that I expect the same thing for my son.
But it's about expectation, right? It's
Absolutely.
about having that expectation.
Absolutely.
I don't know how, but that's going to be me.
That's right.
Somehow.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. That's so awesome. We're getting ready as Firehouse. Man, Roy and Anthony, they're awesome. I love being here myself. I would like to, you know, we have a cameraman here videoing right now, and Anthony seen him working somewhere, and he said, man, you don't belong in that store. Follow your dream. And this guy's going to be, I believe he could become a movie producer, man.
Well, we got two young ladies over here, two young ladies who are doing the same thing. They're going to have Oscars and, you know, Emmys and all that in their cabinets.
That's right.
That's what's going to happen.
That's right.
That's what happens when you go to Firehouse. We bring the gold and the champion and the greatness that's in every one of us.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this episode of The Hotspot. Remember, go to the website if you feel motivated to help of this great work that's going on in the community. Share it on the Periscope, Facebook, wherever you can. Share it, please, and we'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.